Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning in here on TPSM, we're going to get some senior night festivities here because that's what tonight is. So we're going to let those play on the camera. We will leave the mic on so you can hear some semblance of what's going on. But in any case, welcome here to women's volleyball on TPSM. that will conclude senior night festivities. So we will be back here on TPSM with game action as soon as it starts. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TPSM here on YouTube. Tonight, we've got some senior night volleyball. The Oak Ridge Trojans taking on the visiting Folsom Bulldogs. Quick little records for each of the teams. Folsom heading into tonight at 25-9, 5-4 in league play. The Trojans, on the other hand, 26-4, 8-1 in league play. My name is Charlie Limoncelli. Joining me by my side, Chris Maffio.
Well, last two times I've been here to call a game, they've been excellent. Going into the fifth set, down to the wire. Hoping to see some more of that tonight. These get really fun when they're close.
So on tap for tonight's matchup, the Oak Ridge Trojans ranked number 20, 2-0 in California against Folsom, the 101st ranked team. Oak Ridge is number 1 in the Sac Joaquin section and number 1 in Sacramento. Folsom is 8 in the section and 8 in Sacramento. So, matchup of two Titan schools around here in Sacramento. This is going to be a fun one.
Rivalry game, too. I think Folsom's ranking, they're coming into this game saying it does not matter that we're playing the 20th team in California. We can beat anybody. We saw that with the Trojans being defeated by St. Mary's that last time we were streaming.
And we'll kick off action. Leilani Yang with the serve. And quickly, Folsom tries to get it over. Addie Kanegeiser tries to send it over, but the Trojans are there on the block.
It's a good way to set the tone. Walker just denied that one.
So here's Yang again. Yang has 300 assists on the year as well as a lot of excellent serves. There's a dump play, but the Oak Ridge Trojans are there. Mac Dowden hits it over. Kanegeiser can't quite block it, goes down to the floor. Trojans up 2-0. Yang gets ready to set up once more. And up and over the net we go. Folsom sets it a little too far, and right there is Olivia Hicks to send it back down to the Folsom side, and they hit it out of bounds.
Wow, what a start. These Trojans are playing with fire right now. Senior night celebration obviously invokes a lot of emotion.
Yang, another good serve, and a bad set from Grace Kolbranson, the starting libero for the Bulldogs, goes out of bounds. So the Trojans quickly getting some momentum. That's what they're good at. We've seen it all year long, a lot of 3-game sweeps. Perhaps we'll get another one tonight. We'll see as Yang sends the ball over. On the Folsom side of things, Kanegeiser sends it over. Trojans have it. Padilla will elect to set it over. Now back on the Trojan side. Dowden tries the spike, no good. Bulldogs are there. Now on the Oak Ridge side of things. Yang with a dump, no good. And a big hit from Kanegeiser gets the ball to the floor, and Folsom will get their first point of the night.
Yeah, I like that move from Yang there. It looks like she was going to set it to set up a spike from one of her teammates, but no, she pushes it over the net, but unfortunately can't get it to fall.
So now serving Daphne Waters, the senior for the Bulldogs. Waters' serve is deep and goes over the net. Bulldogs tried to tap it down, but Trojans will get it back before a foul, and the Bulldogs will pick up another point. So earlier this week we had our senior night men's and women's water polo stream, and I think that went pretty well. Congratulations to the women's team for their win against Del Oro, as Folsom scores another point here. And next week we've got senior night football, trying to get to all of the senior nights here for the Trojans. So make sure you tune in Friday night, 7 o'clock.
That's going to be a good game.
Yep, Del Oro, a top 100 team in the country. The Trojans, one of the best in California. It'll be a big matchup as the Bulldogs get another tip.
So just as fast as the Trojans went up 4-0, it's now 4-4. So momentum changes so fast here.
Exactly, that's one of the hallmarks of volleyball. Its momentum is key, and right now Folsom's got it. Yang bumps it. Walker will have to do the same. Now on the Bulldog side. Water sets up. Kanegeiser, that one's out of bounds. Trojans get the ball back. Now the Trojans will give it to senior outside hitter Maddie Walker. Her serve is good and will not be returnable. And they'll count that as an ace. Walker already has 20 aces on the year. That is her 21st. So congratulations to her. Walker with another serve. This one's good. Waters sets up. Kanegeiser, another one that goes out of bounds. So the hitting for the Bulldogs a little off so far. Got to dial it back in. Bulldogs are on a 3-game win streak heading into tonight. We'll see how long that lasts against these Trojans, a very tough opponent. Ball on the Trojan side of things. Here's Walker. Gets it over. Folsom has it. And a tip that just barely goes over the net. Here's Child for the Trojans, and a foul called on Oak Ridge. Bulldogs get a point. So now serving Grace Goldbranson, the starting libero. So Folsom has won 3 straight, as I mentioned, against Del Oro 3-1 on Tuesday, Inderkum 3-1 on Monday, and against Granite Bay last Thursday in a 5-setter 3-2. Ball on the Bulldogs side of things. Waters sets up. Kanegeiser gets blocked, but it goes out. Bulldogs will bring it within 1. Here's Goldbranson's serve. Foul called on the Trojans, so a point to the Bulldogs. So now we're tied at 7 apiece. Goldbranson with the serve. Walker was there on the return for the Trojans. Now here's Dowden. Blocked and on to the Trojan side of the floor. Addie Kanegeiser.
Skipped it right back over the net. Nobody was even there. What a play.
So the Bulldogs will continue their run. I believe this is 4 straight points for them. Trojans looking to respond quickly here. Goldbranson's serve is good. Yang will set up Walker. And that one, another block. Kanegeiser. She's a big wall up the middle. They can't get it past her. Goldbranson, another good serve. Yang sets up. Here's Child. Blocked. Oak Ridge has it still. And they're going to try the same thing with a bit of a tip this time. Bulldogs have it. Port sends it over. Trojans get there. Here's Dowden. And a point to the Trojans after, I believe, the Bulldogs touched the net on that one. So Folsom's streak will end, and the Trojans get the ball. Here's Sophia Padilla wearing the starting libero colors tonight. Only senior libero on the team, so fitting that she gets to start on senior night. Child with a bit of a tip, and she gets it. Folsom couldn't get it.
Saw that. Nobody was there right there. Just tips it over, gets the point.
Looks like that was a bit of a pass for the Bulldogs, but ended up, nobody was there. Padilla's serve is very short. Bulldogs barely get to it. And Kanegeiser with a rocket shot keeps the Bulldogs on top. So Folsom last year went 18-12, not a great season, but also not bad by any stretch. This year's squad much improved at 25-9. So obviously looking for a deep playoff run. We'll see what they do when playoffs start in a couple weeks. So Bulldogs get another point.
I was surprised about when they were doing the senior night celebrations, there's only 6 seniors on this team. So they get a ton of production from juniors and sophomores, so they'll be good for a while.
And that goes both ways, especially for the Trojans, such a deep roster. As the ball on the Bulldogs side, a dump from Waters, it's good.
Looks like she tried to almost fake them out right there.
So the Bulldogs with some more momentum now, they've taken it back for sure. Addie Kanegeiser to serve. Thundering, that could have went out, but Padilla decided to return it. Here's Child, tries a big hit, no good. Now they'll set up for Walker. She gets it over on a tip. Blocked and out of bounds. That was Lila Jarvis, one of the star players on the team for the Bulldogs. Kanegeiser's serve is good. Yang sets up, Dowden with a tip.
What a move.
Excellent high IQ play. The Trojan front, they're always good at reading the situation, and that shows right on that play. So Dowden will now serve for the Trojans. Dowden served low, but good. Here's Jarvis, no good, into the net. Trojans getting the ball.
When you force the players to dive for those serves like that, have to dig it out, sets them up in an awkward position. They have to get back up, get their balance back. And you saw that right there with that point.
Dowden serve goes into the net, so the Bulldogs will pick up a free point. And now Grace Port will serve for the Folsom Bulldogs. Serve is good. Trojans having a bit of trouble. Padilla will end up setting it onto the other side. Back onto the Oak Ridge side of things. There's Town with an attack, and it's good. 12-14, and we've got ourselves a back and forth game here. And we're just in the first set. Now Emily Child will serve for the Trojans. Serve is good onto the Folsom side. Port sets up for her teammate Olsen. She hits it into the net. Trojan ball still. So Child still to serve. A rocket of a serve goes. Folsom, can they return it? Goldbranson barely gets it over. Trojan set up for Gaunt. Cross court, and they can't handle it. Chloe Wong, not quite gonna get it. So tied at 14 apiece here. And Child's serve is too far, and the Bulldogs will get another point. So Oak Ridge heading into tonight, this Tuesday, 2 days ago, they won 3-0 here against Rockland. Before that, on Thursday, they won 3-0 against Whitney. And the Tuesday of last week, they were at Del Oro, and they lost 3-1.
3-0 over Whitney. What I remember when we were here broadcasting that, Whitney is very good. They're ranked ahead of Oak Ridge even in the state. So that's a big testament to how good this team is to sweep them.
They were ranked ahead of Oak Ridge at the time. Now they are number 2 in the section and in Sacramento, and a couple behind Oak Ridge in the California rankings. But yes, I think that is likely going to be another playoff matchup, Oak Ridge-Whitney. I'd watch out for it.
I'd be ready for that if it's here at home. Just how much of a nail-biter that last game was.
So now the Trojans will send in Jess Ortiz, number 6, to serve. Ortiz is good. Here are the Bulldogs, and that one just in bounds. And the Bulldogs will get the ball back. And there's the serve from Olsen onto the Trojan side, and Folsom ends up hitting it out. Trojans with the point. So the officials the scoreboard originally gave that point to the Bulldogs, but the officials overturned it. Trojan point. So here's Yang. For those who don't know, volleyball sets played to 25, and we're approaching the end of the set. There's a dump from Folsom. Trojans can't get there. That's Grace Port with a high IQ play to get the Bulldogs another point. Now here's Daphne Waters to serve. Waters' serve is good, right to Child. Here's Dowden on the outside, and too far. Ball lands out of bounds.
Well, that's the downside to having a heavy hitter like that goes out of bounds.
Waters' serve is good. Trojan set up for Hicks, and she sends a rocket. Can Folsom get there?
Wow.
Yes, barely. Now on the Trojan side. Here's Walker, blocked, and Folsom comes away with the point. No way.
What an effort to get that ball. Hit the roof. Looks like it was a mile away from the net.
Waters with another big serve and a spike from Kanageiser. Bulldogs up by 5 now. Starting to pull away here. And no, looks like they're going to call it back. They're going to rule that Folsom and Kanageiser hit the net, so the Trojans get the point. 17-21. Shift of momentum for sure. Trojans finally send it. No, 4 touches for the Trojans. Bulldogs get the point. Now the officials are conferring. Coach Trevin Morgan of the Trojans does not like the call, trying to figure out why the officials called it in favor of Folsom. He believes his team is in the right. You can see them on the bottom left of your screen. So the officials will leave the point with the Bulldogs. Here's Grace Goldbranson. And the officials talking with the scorers table now. Now here's the serve. Trojans are there. Here's Child with a thundering shot right to the floor.
Wow. How you get momentum back in a big situation like this. Hopefully Oak Ridge can get something out of that. Few points.
So Emily Child, one of the 3 incredibly dangerous outside hitters for the Trojans, the others being Madison Walker and Elle Weaver. Here's Kanageiser. Trojans are able to get to that one. Now Dowden with a tip. Ooh. And out of bounds. Port on the dig, but no good. So now the Trojans rallying back. Here's Sophia Padilla to serve. This one up and over. Waters will set up. There's Jarvis. Yang was there to stop it. Now Child. Cross the court, tipped and down. Trojans within 1.
It's like we're going to have a nail-biter this first set. Maybe this is indicative of what's to come in this game.
I think that's pretty likely.
We could be here a while.
I agree. Padilla served deeper this time. Now Kanageiser is blocked and the Trojans tie it up. So now we're going to get a timeout from the Bulldogs, so we'll be back in about a minute. And with the buzzer, we are back from timeout here in Trojan Arena. Trojans and Bulldogs tied at 21 here in set number 1. Sophia Padilla will serve. Ball is good. Waters is setting up outside. Jarvis with a tip. Trojans get there. Here's Child. A rocket off the arms of Wong and out. Trojans will retake the lead finally. Padilla with another good serve. Waters sets up. Kanegeiser can't get it. Trojans on the block. Now Child sends it deep into the floor off of a stray hand from Daphne Waters.
Little bit of a miscommunication there. Waters must have not seen that there is nobody in the vicinity of where she tipped that ball.
Here's Padilla again with a bit of a serving run. Waters bumps. Here's Jarvis. Sends it too deep. Trojans one away from set 1. And now Padilla with an opportunity to close it out here. Padilla's ball, and that's an ace!
Wow.
Hits the net and just gets enough to go over.
What a run from Padilla right there. Stepping up big time into that role.
And with that, we will head into set number 2 in about 3 minutes. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay, welcome back here, everybody, to Senior Night Volleyball. Trojans up 1-0. Folsom will start with the ball. And here the Trojans go. Madison Walker quickly rejected. And the Bulldogs up 1 early.
Well, we've seen a lot of that tonight. Just the quick rejections, just tipping it where nobody is. And it falls
Here's
right
Waters
to
to
the floor.
serve. Walker is there on the bump. Now Child blocked.
Another
And
one.
Folsom showing up early. So now Waters with her third serve. This one is there to Fagundes, and up and over. Alyssa Anderson gets the first points of the night for the Trojans, and they will take the ball over. So Oak Ridge, the defending section champions for the Sac Joaquin section, looking to repeat. I think a deep playoff run is pretty likely, considering how good this team is, as Weaver hits into the block, and the Bulldogs up quickly.
Really hoping that there's a deep playoff run here so we get to do more of these games here at home. Maybe play one of the section rivals like Folsom or Whitney on the way. Make it so much fun to broadcast.
Absolutely, and the environment in here for playoff volleyball is completely different, as the Trojans just save it. Here's Weaver, and that one goes out of bounds, so the Bulldogs looking very strong early right here.
Yeah, the band was here earlier and they played On Wisconsin, the fight song. And confused a bit as to why they left. I guess it maybe was just for the senior night festivities. That
Now
definitely would bring the energy, but
ball goes out off of Oak Ridge hands, so the Bulldogs continue to add to this lead. Grace Goldbranson, the server. Goldbranson sends it up. Walker was there on the return, and here she is again, and that one gets through the block just barely. Jarvis and Kanegeiser were the ones trying to stop it.
well, we have not seen many rallies this set. It's mainly just been hitting it over, tapping it over, just setting it or blocking it, and getting the point there.
So here's Kate Fagundes with a good serve. Nice and low. Here's Jarvis, and that one might have went out, but Walker hit it anyways. Here's Child, and she gets blocked as Town hits it out, so the Bulldogs pick up a point. So now Addie Kanegeiser will serve. Had a good run earlier. See if she can replicate. Serve is deep. Trojans are there. Here's Weaver. And a thundering shot, just barely saved by Waters. Jarvis hits it over for the Bulldogs. Trojans have it. Child with a tip. Waters is there. Outside, Port tries to tip it. No good. Bulldogs still with the ball. Now the Trojans have it. Town bumps up. Here's Walker. Low, but not quite down. Here's Port with a spike, and it gets through.
Well, what a rally we just saw there. Contrary to what we have seen the rest of the set. And looks like a timeout.
So Coach Morgan, sensing the shift in momentum, takes a timeout. We'll be back in a couple seconds. And we're back here in Trojan Arena. Bulldogs quickly up 7-2 here in set number 2. Here's Addie Kanegeiser with a deep serve, too deep in fact. Trojans will get the point.
Well, these are what the Trojans are going to need to capitalize on when they make self-inflicted errors. Get a few points out of this, like 2 or 3 serves. Like we saw that last set, self-inflicted error, and then Padilla comes in and closes it out.
And now they seem to be cleaning it up, at least a little bit after the timeout. Here's Leilani Yang. And we're going to get maybe some early movement from the Trojans. But anyways, Bulldogs get the point. That's what's important here. Here's Grace Port to serve. Serve is good. There's Walker. Yang sets up Weaver. She gets that one down. Haven't heard much from Elle Weaver tonight, the leading scorer for the Trojans. 292 kills on the season. Junior sensation has been electric.
These students here love her. And I was doing roster announcements once. Called her name, everyone cheered. So
and that one
probably
blocked.
the most liked player.
So Weaver on the serve. She ends up getting the point and looking to continue, perhaps start a run here. Weaver serve low and good. There's Jarvis, but Yang is there for the Trojans. Here's Walker, over but no good. Port sets up, Jarvis with a tip. Trojans get there, Dowden can't get it over, and Trojans will be called on an extra hit. So now Lila Jarvis will serve. So as of the 4th of this month, Folsom has not updated their stats since then. Jarvis has 101 kills through 40 sets played. That number likely much more, as Bulldogs score another point here.
Always gotta love when they don't update their stats in Maxpros. Makes this job a whole lot easier.
Jarvis to serve into the net. Trojans pick up a point. Couple substitutions. Alyssa Anderson and Callie Larson will come in for the Trojans. So Larson, the sophomore, will serve. Port sets up and over. That was Lindsay Olson. Gets the point for the Bulldogs.
Got it past the first line of defense, and really nobody else was there, couldn't dig it out.
Here's Olson's serve. Good. Weaver just barely gets that. And Walker with a tip. Bulldogs with a big save. That was Olson on the dig. Here's Dowden, and she finds some space to knock it down. Now some more substitutions. And we saw on that serve, Weaver a little bit flustered by it. That's been one of the weaknesses. Trojan hitters have been okay at returning serves, but they've had quite a few errors over the course of the season. None so far tonight, though. Here's Avery Town, the leader in aces on this year's squad. That ball out of bounds.
Incredible return there, Buck. Well, have we heard Town's name tonight with serving?
No, I don't believe so. This is her first time tonight. She has 36 aces, 137 points off the serves. She also has 258 assists. So, key player for the Trojans, and she's only a sophomore. Now the Trojans have it. Here's Walker. Doesn't get enough on it. Can't clear the net. Bulldog point. Now Daphne Waters will serve. Serve from Waters is good. There's Walker. And Town does a great job of saving that. Walker almost cost the team a point. There's Port. And now to the Trojan side. Walker sets up. Not quite. And that one from Goldbranson is just out of bounds. So the Trojans will get the point. Now here's Walker to serve. Still a close game here in set number 2, 12-9. Bulldogs just ahead. And Goldbranson just barely, not quite.
Hit. That one rolled on the top of the net for a while, then just decides to fall on the Oak Ridge side.
But the officials will call it as a Trojan point. So Walker will continue to serve. This one good. Waters sets up outside. Kanegeiser hits it into the Trojan wall. So now it's a 1-point game. Walker lets it fly. And the Bulldogs get there. Kanegeiser with an absolute missile. Dialed up the launch codes. Fagundes couldn't handle it. So now Goldbranson will serve. And she'll try it from the other side this time. That one, little arcing. Now Child gets blocked, but it goes out of bounds. So the Trojans will just escape with the point. And now Kate Fagundes will serve. Fagundes' serve is good. Kanegeiser tips it, but not quite. Now on the Bulldog side again after Gaunt hits it. And Jarvis gets stuffed. And the ball flies out of bounds after the Bulldogs hit it. Tied at 13 apiece.
The Trojans tied here, but it looks like they've had to abandon their normal game plan, which is attack the edges. They're just relying on all these blocks.
Fagundes nearly picks up an ace. That ball inches from hitting the ground, but a good dig from Wong. Here's Weaver. Gets blocked. Now Child will try it, and she finds some space. Trojans will take the lead. So the Bulldogs have rendered Weaver pretty much ineffective this whole night. It's opened the door for Walker and Child a little more. In any case, Fagundes' serve is good. Waters sets up, and Kanegeiser can't quite get it down as Fagundes gets a big dig, and that one falls to the floor on the Bulldog side.
It was so powerful, Fagundes just fell right to the floor.
So now
hit.
We'll get a timeout for the Bulldogs, and we'll be back in a couple seconds. And we're back after the timeout break here on TPSM. Trojans up 15-13 here in set number 2 as Kate Fagundes will get us out of the break with a big serve. After the dump from Waters, the Trojans send it way deep. Child hits it into the wall of Bulldogs, but they can't handle it. Point Trojans. Fagundes with another serve. Jarvis on the return this time. Waters sets up. Kanegeiser, a dig from Walker, and the Trojans have life. Here's Weaver. Blocked and a dig from Wong. Now Jarvis with a tip, and it's good. Kanegeiser will serve. And there it goes. Walker is there. Here's Child now. And off of the hands of the Bulldogs and back out of bounds. Trojans get the point, and here come the substitutions, Yang and Dowden. Leilani Yang's serves have been pretty good tonight. This one, no different. Dig even required. Gulbrandson. Now the Trojans send it over on the Bulldogs side. Jarvis gets blocked, but it goes out. Bulldogs with the quick point. And now we'll get Grace Port to serve. Port's serve is up and good. Here's Weaver with a tip, blocked back to the Trojan side, and the Bulldogs have brought it back to within one. Serve from Port is good. Yang sets up, Gaunt with a tip. Bulldogs get there. Jarvis partially blocked, a dig from Fagundis. And there's Weaver to send it over, and it's out of bounds. So now we're tied at 17 heading into the back part of the set. Port serve good. Trojans get there with ease. Now Weaver fires, no good. Jarvis with a tip. Dowden was right there. Weaver once more, off the hands of the Bulldogs, and out of bounds. Trojans with the point.
Well, I always think the second set is the most important because you win this, you're up to 2-0, just need one more to win it. You lose it, you could be in for a long game.
Here's Olivia Hicks. Her serve is just barely returned. Lindsay Olsen gets the final hit for the Bulldogs. There's Walker. That ball goes out of bounds. So now we're tied again. Lila Jarvis ready to go. Up and over. Here's Walker. That one gets down, and she picks up another kill. Substitutions on both sides. Trojans will give the ball to Callie Larson. Had a couple of good serves earlier. And here comes another one. Larson serve, up. Good, Bulldogs just get it over. Here's Dowden. Tipped and down on the floor, the Trojans with the point. Folsom coach Devin Elmore talking to his players. And now here we go. Larson sends that one right to the net. Bulldogs pick up a free point. Here's Lindsay Olsen. Good serve. Fagundis has to get low. Yang with a good save. And now Bulldogs are going to be awarded a point. So tied at 20. Neither team will go down quietly. Olsen serve low. Hicks has to go and go down for it. Walker sends that one over. Trojans get the point now. So now Avery Town will serve. She's been automatic most of the year. Can she clutch up here? Yup, there's one. So the Bulldogs hit it and it went out pretty much directly backwards. Town to serve again. That one low, and they'll call it a point. So another ace for Town.
Did that hit the ground? It looked like it didn't.
And now it looks like we're going to get some conferring from the officials.
So it's a Folsom point.
And it looks like they're going to take that point back, and Town serve is good. Goldbranson hits it over. Now Child blocked, but Folsom keeps the ball on their side. Blocked by the Trojans. Now Folsom gets another shot. Outside, another block. Folsom with life yet again. And the Trojans miscommunicate, and the ball drops. So now we're tied at 21 apiece. So here's the serve from Waters. Trojans miscommunicate. And now the Bulldogs are ahead. We're going to get a timeout from the Trojans, and we'll be back in a minute. So we're back, timeout break about to end. Folsom Bulldogs up by 1 here in set number 2 after the Trojans took the set 1 victory. Here's Daphne Waters on the serve. It's good. Hicks is there to get it. And now Child off the Bulldogs' hands and out. Trojans tie it up. So now Madison Walker will get the ball and will attempt to close it out for the Trojans. First serve, good. Waters sets up. Kanegeiser gets it, but the Trojans are there.
Oh,
Now Port sends it over. Walker is on the receiving end. Here's Weaver. Off the hands of the Bulldogs, hits the basketball hoop, and the Bulldogs get there on a dig. Now the Trojans taking their time. Here's Child, she gets it!
Wow. Well, that basketball hoop almost served as a demise of the Trojans right there, but they're able to come away with the point. What a sequence we just saw there.
So now we'll get a timeout from the Bulldogs, and we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Back after the Bulldogs timeout, 23-22 now. Trojans will have possession of the ball and the lead. Pivotal set here. Either the Bulldogs will pull out the victory on this one and get right back in the game, or they will go down with their backs against the wall into set 3. Walker's serve is good. And a tip from Kanegeiser is good, and we're tied at 23. Teams must win a set by 2 points. It is still first to 25. But if both teams score and it's tied at 24, they will have to play till 26. and so on. Serve, Walker returns it. Here's Weaver with a tip, and it gets to the floor. The Trojans 1 point away. So now we've got Kate Fagundes to serve. Her serve deep. Bulldogs get there. Jarvis will have to tip it. And now the Trojans set up Weaver with a rocket, and it goes down. The Trojans will win set number 2, and the Bulldogs are in trouble. So we'll be back.
Maybe 2-0, but that does not do it justice. Both these sets have gone down to the wire.
Very true. So we will be back for set number 3 in a couple of minutes. And we're back here for set number 3. The Trojans up 2-0 on the Folsom Bulldogs. Trojans will try to close it out here with this set, and they'll start it with Leilani Yang. Her serve good as Addie Kanegeiser tries to send it to the Trojan side, but it gets blocked. So now the Trojans will come out with the first point. Both of these sets so far have been back and forth, and I expect nothing different here as Kanegeiser tries another tip. The Trojans get there, and Child sends one down to the ground, and Port can't handle it.
Absolute rocket right there, put in a perfect spot.
So here's Yang getting ready once more. Her serve, good. A tip from Waters, but the Trojans get there. A dump from Yang. Oh, and it looks like the Trojans will get a double touch on it. So the Bulldogs get their first point of the set. 2-1 here. Waters' serve is good. Walker was there on the original return, and Child gets another one. Already with 2 big points in this set. So the Trojans get the ball back. Here's Madison Walker to serve. Do-it-all senior gets a big one. And Folsom just barely will get it to the Oak Ridge side. Child with 3 now.
She's on fire right there, 3 perfect kills.
And when the Trojan hitters get hot, good luck trying to stop them. Looks like this might be the start of a big set for Child. That one low. And a tip from Kanegeiser quickly turns the tables, and the Bulldogs will get possession of the ball. So now we'll see Goldbranson serve. Has been pretty consistent so far for the Bulldogs. This one likely not going to be any different. And Fagundis gets a dig, and it goes over the net. As Jarvis tries to get the kill, but no good. Here's Weaver with her attempt. She gets some side spin on it, and it gets down. 5-2 now. Here's Fagundis. Good serve, and that's going to go for an ace. So Kate Fagundis, the junior, that will make for her 35th ace of the year, only 2 behind Avery Town heading into tonight, and that's another one. 36, and Town has 38, so they're still 2 apart. Well, Fagundis is on a bit of a roll here. This serve also good. Waters will set up. Kanegeiser gets blocked, but the Trojans can't get it off of their own side. Here's Addie Kanegeiser's serve, and that's an ace right to the floor. Fagundis playing back a little too far. Kanegeiser with the serve once more. Fagundis gets there this time. Yang sets up. There's Child. And she's through 4 kills in this set. Half of the Trojan points so far. Substitutions for the Trojans. Child, notably, will sit on the bench for the next couple of plays. So now here's Sophia Padilla. A big serve. And the Bulldogs are there. Here's Jarvis. Way too much. The ball does not sail downward. And it goes out of bounds. Trojan ball here in a close game. Padilla with another good serve. Here's Lindsey Olsen, barely gets it over it, and the Trojans almost can't handle it. And there's Dowden getting the point for the Oak Ridge team. So now we're going to get a timeout from the Bulldogs, trying to shift the momentum back in their favor. We'll be back in a couple minutes. The buzzer sounds, and we're back after the timeout break. Trojans up 10-4 here in set number 3 in the early goings. Trojans with possession of the ball, and here's Sophia Padilla. Serve is low and hit out of bounds. That's an ace.
Honestly, looking for Oak Ridge just to put this one away here, so we don't have to stay for another 2 hours like those last few games.
Padilla with a serve into the net, the exact opposite what she did on that last one. So now the Bulldogs momentum shift and control the ball. What will they do with it? Let's find out. Here's Grace Port to serve. Port serve deep, Trojans return it. Gaunt will hit it over, and it falls to the floor. Olsen got in the way of Port, and Port was running to it, couldn't get there. So the Trojans get the ball back, and here's Olivia Hicks to serve. Hicks goes right to the net, and got ourselves some trading of points so far. Bulldogs now with possession again. Serve from Jarvis goes out of bounds. Trojans take the ball back. So Chris, in the wide world of sports, we've got some interesting matchups tonight. Cardinals and Saints on Thursday Night Football.
Well, any outcome of this game is good for me as a Niner fan. You know, the Cardinals winning right now is going to delay the firing of their coach. So, I guess I'm happy with that.
Fair enough. Saints' first round pick is with the Philadelphia Eagles this year, so I would actually like to see the Saints lose. That's just my opinion. And in other sports, NBA is back after the season opener Tuesday, and we've got some baseball tonight. The ALCS, Yankees-Astros hit it in the top of the ninth. Astros up by 1.
What you said about the Eagles, their coach, offensive coordinator, an Oak Ridge alumni, he's a top head coaching candidate right now. So
Shane Steichen, the Oak Ridge alum, offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I could see the Cardinals hiring him for sure. But
perhaps a possibility.
Cool that an Oak Ridge alumni is going to land a huge head coaching job and is the top candidate to do so. It's really a good testament to this school and the amount of notable alumni that they have produced.
So here's the serve back to volleyball from Lindsey Olsen. Trojans give it to Walker. Ball hits the low ceiling, but the Bulldogs recover. Now on the Trojan side of things. And Fagundes and Padilla both go after it. Ball hits the floor. Folsom ball.
I wonder how much of this low ceiling plays a role in home field advantage for the Trojans, because they practice here, they play most of their games here, they know how to deal with it.
A dig from Hicks, and the Bulldogs could have let it go out, and that one off the hands of the Trojans. Bulldogs with another point. Like you were saying, I agree. I think The Trojans definitely know how the ceiling works. They know how to play off of it. Especially in the playoffs, we're going to get some unfamiliar teams coming in here. They might struggle with it, so something to watch out for. Olsen serve, good. Padilla sets up Walker, and Bulldogs will get there. Outside, Folsom sends it on the onto the Trojan side of things. Dowden blocked. A big block from Canigan, and it was Caniger, and it results in points. Olsen served low. Hicks has to dig for it. Here's Walker, and she gets the points there.
The Bulldogs were climbing back into this game. They were down like 8 at one point.
So now the Trojans will give the ball to Leilani Yang. Trojans are 7 points from victory. Yang serve, good. Kanegeiser can't get it down. The Trojans get there. Here's Child, and that one's good. She picks up another point. So now the Trojans with the momentum, trying to close out the year on a win. Yang's serve is low and good. Port sets up outside, blocked by the Trojans. Bulldogs still have it. And that one goes out, hits the out-of-bounds antenna on top of the net. Trojans up by 8 now. Yang serve, this one much more arcing. Kanegeiser with a bit of a fake, I suppose you could call it. Here's Child. She gets all of that one. Bulldogs cannot handle the red-hot Emily Child. Now we've got Yang with another serve. Bulldogs get there. Port setting up. Outside, the Bulldogs will finally get that one down, and they'll take control of the ball. So now we've got Daphne Waters to serve. Waters' serve is good. Trojans are getting there. Child hits this one. Too much on it, and it doesn't have a downward trajectory. Goes out of bounds. 19-12. Bulldogs climbing back into the game. Waters' serve is received by Fagundes and tipped away. Trojans starting to struggle a bit. They're floundering here. And that one from Waters goes into the net. Trojans will get the ball back and the point.
Here's Walker just looking to close this one out. 5 straight points to end the game.
Madison Walker with a big serve. This one is nearly out. Kanegeiser hits it into the net. So here's Walker setting up once more. Walker's serve is tipped and out. So that's an ace for Madison Walker, her second of the night. Trojans up 22-13, 3 points from closing out their season with a win. Kanegeiser with a big hit. Trojans are able to get there. Weaver, is it in?
It is.
So Walker will still be serving. Trojans up 10 now. Walker's serve sails out of bounds, and the Bulldogs can breathe a sigh of relief, at least temporarily. Serve is up and good. Trojans get there. Here's Hicks. Bulldogs still have it. And they bump it over onto the Oak Ridge side. Hicks once more. This one nearly down. Still the Trojans keep it alive. Bulldogs get there scrambling. Here's Jarvis, blocked. And it gets down. The Trojans can't get there in time.
What a job from the Bulldogs keeping that one alive.
So now Bulldogs with momentum and control of the ball. Not for long. That one goes into the net, and the Trojans are 1 point away. And they will give it to Kate Fagundis in an attempt to close out the victory here on senior night. This has been a good game all around. Both fans have been in. Fagundis' serve is good. The Bulldogs have it. Port gets it down and will keep going. Kanegeiser will serve. Serve is good. Trojans barely return it, and it hits the net. Bulldogs with another point, and they won't go down quietly here. Serve from Kanegeiser is good. Trojans get there. Here's Hicks to close it, and she gets it. The senior with the closing remarks on senior night. A fitting end to this game. So the Oak Ridge Trojans will come away with a dub to close out their season against the Folsom Bulldogs in a 3-game sweep.
I don't think that 3-game sweep really does it justice. Both the first 2 sets came down to the wire. In this third one, Bulldogs just did not die quietly. But Oak Ridge comes away with the win. That hit from Hicks in her final game here. Regular season game.
So with that, the Trojans will go 27-4 on the year, 9-1 in league play. The Bulldogs will end tonight 25-10 and 5-5 in league play. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in here at TPSM on YouTube. My name is Charlie Limoncelli, Chris Maffio on my side, cameraman Joe Limoncelli, Dean Franco, Chance Miller. Thank you everybody, and good night.